Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Jason Hunt here, inviting you to join us every Saturday morning for news. The week's headlines in science fiction, fantasy, horror, comic books, video games, plus Comic-Con updates and the weather, and the occasional interview along the way. We call it Good Morning Multiverse. We hope you join us every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, right here on Sci-Fi For Me TV.
Good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, your host, senior managing editor here at criticalblast.com. And we are joined tonight to talk about some more crowdfunded comics on Kickstarter by Mr. John Dexter. John, how are you doing tonight, man?
Good. How you doing? It's nice to be back on your show. It's been about a year since last time I was on when I was funding Alpha Dogs issue 1.
I remember that. Yeah, because I had lots of questions about, do the dogs talk? Do they talk to each other? Do they talk to the owners only? And obviously I recognize them in this campaign, which isn't named after them, but you are including number 2 in this campaign, right?
In this campaign, I am including Alpha Dogs 1 and 2 for people that missed out on it. They can actually get Alpha Dogs 1 and 2 when Alpha Dogs issue 3 comes out in a month from now, almost exactly a month. I'm shooting for October 1st for Alpha Dogs issue 3. 1 and 2 was funded on Kickstarter, and hopefully issue 3 will be in issue 1 of this comic book. Dime Store Detective will be funded. We're 72% right now. We still got 21 days, so plenty of time, but I've got about 93 watchers. So hopefully it gets funded soon, and those people that are watching it will contribute.
Well, hopefully, we'll have some people in our chat tonight who will take a chance on this one. Right now, we have Mike Walters out there dropping by to say hi, and Mike, do that like and share thing. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Always appreciate you doing that. Woody's out there. I don't have to guess who, because your picture's right. Your picture's right there. Does Walter Lance know you're out and about like that? So. Dime Store Detective. I'm like, I love the cover on this thing, and I'm going to bring the Kickstarter up a little bit. But there's two covers. The regular variant, the regular is only $10. The variant's $12. They have a PDF that's $5. So it's all a pretty cheap price point for at least for how Kickstarters go. Yeah, now this is it looks to me like a departure from the storytelling of Alpha Dogs. And I don't mean that it's like in a different world setting. I mean, it's a different kind of story. Oh, yeah, totally different. Same quality, but obviously a very different story. This is about this, it's kind of like told in the same story technique of It and also True Detective, where we have this person from many years ago that the hero has to defeat. In this case, it's the main character's father who defeats, supposedly, and then 40 years later, this thing reappears, and we kind of track the detective and how this has affected him. In this case, it's this evil entity that was inadvertently released, as you find out as this issues go along, and the detective is now forced with the task of hunting down this entity and stopping him before he murders anyone else. Yeah, that's it's very much kind of the bones of It, Chapter 1. And Chapter 2, because it's the same story in Chapter 2 as it was in Chapter 1. Yeah. It's same, but it's much different. This takes place in Atlanta, Athens, Georgia. Back in 1981, these two guys were moonshiners. They're 4 generations of moonshiners. They drive around in the 1973 Plymouth Barracuda. I had to have a really cool car for the bootlegging car, and kind of the car is a character in itself, kind of the same vein of the General Lee and the Supernatural car. So these two cousins are kind of feared in the county, and nobody messes with them until this crew comes in that's actually connected to the Dixie Mafia, who were, kind of ruled the South in organized crime. They were feared. The cops either were scared to death of them or paid them to leave them alone. And so they come in, and there's this rivalry that happens, and they get into this kind of bloody war between the two of them. And as the story goes along, this evil entity comes into play and seemingly is dormant for many years. And then 40 years later, the son of the bootlegger, he becomes a detective after his family's kind of been demonized through the county as, murderers. And the detective comes upon this crime scene in the present time. And this woman has been hung from a tree in a sacrificial type of manner. she's the third victim this month, and she's been hung on display over the burial grounds of the detective's father and uncle, where they had buried bodies from back in their moonshiner rivalry days back 40 years ago, which kicks off, this thing has returned, and the detective has to figure out who the serial killer is and the connection with this evil entity. It's a very lofty story. It's 8 issues, it looks like, but it's really intriguing, really fun. If you love mysteries, if you love the old noir, and if you love supernatural stories, you'll really enjoy Dinosaur Detective.
Yeah, I hate writing mystery stories because first of all, you've got to figure out how to pull off a crime in a way that's smart and no one will catch you. I mean, that's you've got all the planning time in the world. There's no crime of passion when you're writing it out. You know exactly where it's going to be. And then once you've done that, you've got to throw in a believable flaw that no one else is going to see but your detective that will allow them to unravel it.
Exactly.
So
you got to get your red herrings in there. And I think I have plenty of those. It's got to be something that the audience figures out just about the time that you reveal it. You got to reveal it just before the audience kind of connects the dots. That's the difficulty, but also, to me, enjoyment of writing mystery. I'm a huge fan of Raymond Chandler and his detective stories, and Michael Connelly's Bosch books. And so I've always really had a passion for it, and I've always wanted to tell a good detective mystery. And I thought, because I had written this actually years ago without the moonshiner angle to it, and I didn't like it enough. I didn't think it was original enough. I wanted something that would set it apart. So I added the supernatural element, and then recently I listened to a podcast about the Dixie Mafia, and in particular about this hitman for them. And his son idolized his dad. I mean, his dad could do no wrong. And then, hey, how's it going, Pops? Pops has been a big supporter of mine since I first started. So, but getting back to the story, there's trouble.
Hey, I know that cat.
How's it going, buddy?
To get rid of I don't have a frame for 3 yet. I mean, I've got this one, but it doesn't quite work the way I thought it would. So
actually, that one's kind of cool. You just need
that is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's got to fill out better. And I don't know, maybe not be black, maybe be white or something. I'll figure something out.
There you go.
There's lots of options, man. It doesn't matter what's behind it. That one can be behind it.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know,
but that wasn't behind it. That was over it.
That one can be behind it. That one's cool.
Yeah. Are we simulcasting or?
No, but Pops knows how to get to the back door's open, the key's in the mailbox. He comes through the kitchen and he can play with all the same things as though he's running the show.
And
I can do
notice he can add our destinations to his shows too when he wants to.
Yeah. I just never do it because you're streaming all the time, man. I would bump into you.
The network's growing. We had 2 more shows next week.
I saw that today on Twitter. Congratulations. That's cool.
It's
going
up. RJ, you're gonna have to do an hourly show or a weekly show on the fucking madness, dude. You're gonna have to.
If I can come up with something that's different, I mean.
You come up with something you want to do, and I'll be like, "Yeah, RJ, that sounds cool. Go ahead."
You're talking into it.
We'll just talk about shipping comics. Yeah.
You can even do the Marmalade show, man. You can do the Marmalade show on the Madness Network.
Don't tempt me. I've actually started looking back into clothes for Marmalade.
See?
Do you know who Marmalade is, John?
No.
Marmalade is my co-host on this side of the channel. Sometimes he has his own playlist.
Okay.
He's done some interviews, and he's working on music videos now. This was his latest
now
music
the
video.
campaign's promised perks and gifts while the Wolfman worked the graveyard shift. We all showed up to pledge, and that drove them off the edge.
That's enough.
That's I hope it was some good shrooms.
Yes.
Oh, that one's really good, man. what's it called? Bye bye.
That one's called Comicsgate Pie.
Comicsgate.
He's working on a new one called Imitation Fans.
Okay.
What happened to bye bye to the LCS guy?
Yeah, well, that's the chorus.
Okay.
He's saying bye bye to my LCS guy.
There you go. That's funny.
Yeah, Marmalade's cool. He came and he hung out at Monday Madness once, and my grandkids interviewed him. It was hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
They love Marmalade. They really do.
Robert, glad you're listening to us while you're catching up on work. I hope we don't distract you too much, but that you can still, hear us what we're doing. Yeah, it's the Hairy Orange Kid.
Back up there where it belongs. There you go.
Yeah, he's Marmalade's 9 years old, and he does the cute little interviews with creators, and then he'll ask them, am I old enough to read this comic, or do I have to hide it under the bed with my vampirellas?
Well, might be a little scary for him. I don't know.
So where does Dinosaur Detective fall in? I mean, I'm asking. I know I've read the preview pages, but I've got to act like I don't know anything, John. So
Yeah. I got you. So what age group are you asking me?
Yeah. Is this? I mean, because I read some hairy stuff when I was a kid from DC.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. It's probably, I don't know if kids would be interested in it, but it's mostly teens to adult. It's kind of what it's aiming for. I mean, there's no gratuitous nudity or anything like that. I mean, there's a few F words in there, but the worst of it goes to the woman's derriere as she's hung in the beginning. That's about the worst of it. But the storytelling is very gritty. That noir feel to it, like I said, like LA Confidential, True Detective, those type of storylines where there's a lot of corruption from the high ups, and this detective in the story doesn't play by their rules, and so he's hated. And the only reason he's still in the department is because he is such a good detective. But there's a little Jeffrey Epstein-esque story line to it as well. So it's got a lot in there, but it's very cohesive, and people who've read parts of it have really enjoyed it.
So now, do I understand what you said earlier? You said it was set in the 70s. I don't know if that's now the current story's in the 70s or his grandfather's story was in the 70s.
So the comic, much like it and True Detective, goes back and forth from 1981 to the present. And in the first pages, if you look at the preview pages, everything that takes place in 1981 is in black and white, and everything that takes place in the present is color. Pops actually was the first one to discover that of the interviews.
Dude, I love that. I was like, no, this is perfect. It's just like, because look, remember when you were a kid, RJ? There was shit in black and white on TV, and
Barely.
then it's like, as the new stuff came in, it was all in color. And it's
yeah, they did that with Wizard of Oz.
For me, it separated it perfectly. I was like, oh, the black and whites. When I was a kid,
Well, Neil Gaiman said that the past should always be viewed in sepia tones.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. But, it starts out with the prologue, which is the letter from the father to the son. That's page 1, which you passed a little bit, because I love prologues done well. You're supposed to kind of give a little bit of foreshadowing and kind of warm up the audience, or readers in this case. So I did that with taking place in 1999. And then with page 2 where you're at right now, I show the past in the same spot as the present, and we see the subtle changes in the city of Athens, Georgia. And the last panel is them burying a body, and the next panel is the police officers looking up at the body hanging from the tree.
And there she is. I'm gonna tuck the derriere down here because YouTube hates butts.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I understand.
They didn't say nothing to me about that very same butt. Dude.
Well, then let's put it up there.
I guess go faster, but that's the splash page. I wanted something to really kind of shock the readers and say, wow, what's going on here? And then we're introduced to the detective, the main character of the story, Detective Donald McIntyre. And I took the name from the old 40s, instead of saying dude, they'd say, hey, Mac. You guys would probably know, but younger readers have no idea what I'm talking about. But
I listen to a lot of radio shows on XM, so I'm listening to the Whistler and Johnny Dollar and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But so I wanted his nickname to be Mac, kind of a throwback to the old 1940s Humphrey Bogart detective feel there. So also he's named after this guy that went to high school with, who unfortunately passed away at age, he was like 43. Really super great guy. So it's kind of a tribute to him as well. So it kind of worked both ways.
Robert, yeah, that would be shocking because, you know, they're animals. She'd be getting eaten on and, yeah, climbed into probably.
Well, if you read that, there's a little bit of mystery.
It would be shocking if somebody put the chipmunk in there.
Exactly. But in the story, they say that it's very odd. There's no critters that have, you know, eaten away at her. There are no buzzards in the sky. That kind of gives a little bit of a feel of the supernatural, the mysterious of what has caused these animals to stay away. It's kind of like, the old stories of, you know, there's a demon in here or whatever, and nothing wants to be a part of that area.
Yeah, I've seen the ghost stories like that where it's like, you know, you're in an area of the woods where it suddenly gets all real quiet, and that's because there's a Sasquatch or an alien or something is about to happen. It's the animals are scared of.
So that's kind of what I was going for.
But you've definitely left clues here. I mean, you know, her location is meaningful. There's a weird, you know, thing done to the body where this glass bottle is shoved down her throat. That's a signature.
Yeah.
All the key openings to a police procedural show. We're like, okay, we've got a new criminal mind to delve into here. Yeah.
So I in the glass bottle is one of the moonshine bottles that the family made, the Mackiner family made back 40 years ago. So there's whoever it is murdered these women, this woman in particular, wants it to be very clear to the detective that there is a connection, not only leaving her body at the burial spot of his father and uncle, but where the bodies they buried during the Moonshine War back in 1981, but to put an extra emphasis by putting one of their moonshine bottles in her mouth. So I've always been a kind of a fan of that. The person that goes through this trauma, this horrible thing, and then we see how they've evolved from it and how they fought, and now years later, they have to fight this thing again, and what this evil person or being has learned is now back and smarter, and how they can somehow defeat it again.
Yeah, these things happen in cycles. And whatever worked last time doesn't work this time, or
exactly.
Or it only worked partly last time because you didn't fully understand something.
Yeah. So he's got to discover it, and it's got a little bit of everything that people will enjoy in a story. You get the supernatural element, the detective mystery, who, you know, everybody loves that, and you know, like I said, even some of the Jeffrey Epstein-esque, where it's the powerful that basically do what they want with no repercussions, and this detective is kind of a one-man show to try to stop them. The odds are definitely stacked against him, and as the issues go along, for the 7 issues, it just grows and grows and grows, and the issues for him just seem to mount. I mean, how do you stop something that is basically eternal?
Yeah, you can't. You don't have eternal power over these kinds of things.
No. So the greater the odds, the more interesting the story is.
So I wanted to pull down here. Now that's
the colorist. Since that's some of his past work, he's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Lucas. He's worked for DC, for Arctic Press, for Boom, I believe. There's the manager, but.
Okay. And nobody ever looks at the pie chart. We know where the money's going.
Nobody cares about that. But there's some really great stretch goals, some really fun rewards. Like I said, the PDF's only $5. I had a early bird special, but those obviously are over with by now. So
done gone. That's why I didn't even stop right there.
Yeah.
But $5 for a PDF. How many pages you looking at here?
It's gonna be 20. It's 24 pages in all.
Okay. And
I wanted to keep it a little at a smaller price point if I could. So I didn't. I went with 24 pages, which is I think a good number.
And the first issue of how many?
It's going to be 8 issues in all. I was starting the 6th issue today, but obviously it's all plotted out already. So, but yeah, there's 5 issues already written now, and I'm about 1/3 of the way into the 6th issue. There was originally 7 issues. I think it might say 7 issues because it was originally. And then when I wrote issue 5, it would have been far too long. Issue 2 will be 28 pages. Issue 3 will be 28 pages, and then 4 and 5 are 24 pages.
All right, I got a question.
Sure,
Okay,
Pop.
As an Alpha Dogs fan, is this going to interrupt the production of the book I want to read? I'm just
No. Actually, I wrote on social media today, 1 month away, and I showed the cover. You're going to absolutely, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you're going to absolutely love the variant cover for Alpha Dogs. Actually, you've seen the black and white if you looked at the updates. It's been a few updates ago. I showed off just to my Kickstarter backers the variant cover for Alpha Dogs. So I don't know if you remember, Pops, but it was on there somewhere. But that's the variant cover. So no, actually, I just got pages back. I'm really, really excited to show off Alpha Dogs more. I'm going to do it. October 1st is kind of the tentative date for Alpha Dogs 3. So it might be September 26th, but it just depends. I don't know if I might need a little more of a breather after this ends the 23rd, but
just let me throw this out here at you.
Sure.
September 23rd, 4th, and 5th are CromCon.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
And the Monday after is wide open, the 26th. You can
Okay.
do a launch party on the Madness.
What day is the 26th? Because I want to do it either on a Tuesday or a Thursday. That seems to be the best
The
days.
26th is a Monday, but
That's possible too.
That's Monday Madness, and I don't have any guests that day. We could give you the
Yeah. That's possible. I got to see. I might need, like I said, a breather because this gets over on the 23rd. So I haven't decided yet. It might be October 4th. I don't know. I'm still debating. But as it stands right now, Alpha Dogs 3 is over halfway done. So it's getting there. I just wrote the script for the trailer. So I was debating on which one to start first, but I was farther along with this. Their schedule was a lot more. They had a lot more on their plate for the Alpha Dogs artists, so that's why I went with Alpha Dogs later on. So, but I can't wait to show off the pages. It's gonna be really, really cool. And people that, if you love Empire Strikes Back, you're gonna absolutely love the variant cover. And then I just today okayed a 3rd variant cover for Alpha Dogs. The first time I've done 3 covers, but I wanted to do a comic book-esque, famous comic book cover for the 3rd variant. So
I just want to make sure you know that the channel is available to you for a launch party, whatever day you do it. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'm just right now, I'm really wrapped up into trying to get this thing funded. It's so stressful, as anybody who's launched a comic would know. We're getting there though. 72%.
You
So
got 20 days.
I got plenty of time.
Relax.
I know.
Jeez, you guys.
I will not be able to relax. Everybody says relax. I say I cannot relax
that have these
until I'm funded.
newer comics right now, like you and Rich, you guys all need to get together and do cross promotion.
Yeah. I cross promoted. I definitely should get a hold of him and do it.
I mean, all you guys that got these Nor looking comics or era,
Mhm.
You guys got to get together and cross promote each other, man.
Yeah. I definitely need to get a hold of him and see if he wants to, because I
what's the guy that did Norlam, Critical Blast, or RJ? What's that guy's name?
Oh, that's radio.
Yeah. What's his?
He changed his name. Damn it, I can't remember.
See, I hate when they do that too. There's another guy that has a book called Norlam.
Okay.
That's
Noirlam
logo, and it's in demand.
Okay.
Right.
It's a noir set in Harlem.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
All you guys got to get together, man, and
definitely,
and punch off each other's audiences, because if they like that one, chances are they're gonna like this one. And
they're
gonna like that one. I mean,
well, you know what you do.
No, you're absolutely right.
How this is handled, Pops, and we've seen this happen with Perfect 10 and The Embrace, where they said, and this got thrown on me to figure out how to ship. So This was a data challenge. This is where Critical Blast Consulting comes in with my 35 years of IT experience and programming. But they said, if you signed up for the mailing list on one and on the other, and you bought a physical product from either,
then you would get this
pin up. Yeah. You got a pin up that had both characters drawn on it.
Yeah.
So now the other thing I was going to say, John, is our boy Chris over there at Laughing Rogue, the Slaughterville game, the Slaughterville books. That guy has a game, right? A horror-based card game. And he's doing crossovers with people where he's doing their characters on his cards and putting them cards in the game.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you got a little supernatural bent to your books. So fits right in. Get a hold of Chris. You know what I mean? It's like punch off as many different audiences as you can, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I signed up for a bunch of film noir groups on Facebook. So they're probably getting quite annoyed with me by now. So I've already been Facebook already was like, oh, hold on, no more messaging people.
Oh man.
Yeah, you have to be careful with Facebook. I do it out of my group.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't get as much flack. They come at me personally and individually on certain things, but they don't shadow ban me. I can post anything anywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Except my own events that I create in my own group using their freaking software. Right?
Then you're spamming.
Yeah.
Then I'm spamming if I share my own stuff into my own group that I created with their platform.
Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, I saw your rant about it for a little while. Then I stopped because you were getting pretty hot. So I just okay.
Hot. I'm not going to mess with Facebook no more when it comes to broadcasting. I'll just drop my links there. You know, I mean, when I go live, I'll drop a link in the group saying I'm live. Come over to YouTube and check me out because Facebook's annoying the heck out of me.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Facebook
More than one way, too, John. It's like the allowing the third world scammers to get copyright claims on our content, all kinds of crap.
Exactly.
Facebook just, they're just letting us down as content creators.
Oh, absolutely.
But we just power through it. We just go to a different platform and build over there. I don't care. Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, baby. We're rolling, right? So
absolutely.
See, one of the issues with trying to reach a goal like this is that your book is so cheap. You have to make lots of them to hit the goal.
I know. It'd be nice not to lose money on a comic book for a change. And then when I sell it to LCSs on consignment, I never get paid. So it's like, geez, oh Pete. So it's definitely tough for us guys.
We don't encourage that. Send it to them on consignment. We encourage you sending them a PDF and asking them to check it out and see if anybody that comes through their doors would be interested in something like this. And if so, I'll work a deal with you real close to cost.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to do that. Most of them say no, but of course, our comic book store that you and I go to over there at Buy Me More Toys, they've been great. They always they're the only ones I've actually been able to collect money off of. So I just stopped doing it. So, but they've been great. They've actually sold 6 issues of issue 1 and 5 of issue 2, which to a lot of people would be like, ain't nothing. But to somebody like me, any creator, that's pretty huge. So
5 people that bought your book got us walking through a door into a comic store. Some people can't even say they've ever sold a book at a comic book store. So you're up ahead of the game. The whole purpose. Look, most comics are bought through the doors of a comic store. It's not a secret. You got to try and get on the shelves. You want to actually come back for a second print run and need to print a couple thousand books. You got to have them going off store shelves.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why I take physical copies into Cosmic Comics. I've taken physical copies of crowdfunded books and Dave Dyer goes through them. And, some of them, the people can't come down on price and he doesn't put them on the shelf.
Right.
And other ones meet the price point or they're.
Yeah. It's got to be a
Yeah.
price
Not
that
take
they can
pictures.
make a buck off of, man, or it's not worth their time, you know.
Yep. Got to leave some meat on the bone, he says.
Yeah, I actually had them at kind of a premium price compared to everybody else's, you know. So to be able to sell 6 of issue 1 and 5 of issue 2, the fact that people are coming back for issue 2 is pretty awesome too. I haven't
Well,
been
it's a
there in a
good
month, so
story,
maybe
right?
I've sold a few more. So
Alpha Dog's a good story. If you read book 1 and you didn't come back for 2, then I don't get it, because it's a good story.
yeah. Yeah,
You know?
well, just wait till issue 3. That's when the shit proverbial hits the fan on the series. It's been a build up, so it'll be quite exciting. Like I said, I can't wait to show people the issues, because a good story is, you know, you kind of build up the story, and so that when all the dominoes fall, it's you're already invested into the character. So like with this comic, Dexter Detective, you know, issue 1 is a lot of just getting to know the characters, setting things up. And then by the time we get going, I think people will be very intrigued and be bought into the story. But you have to buy issue 1. So come on out and support the Kickstarter. I only need, like I said, I'm 72% funded, and no money comes out of your bank account until after the Kickstarter ends, and it is fully funded. So if you don't have money today or tomorrow, it's going to be 21 days before any funds come out anyway. So
yeah, so I got to wait until the last week to make sure I have money.
That's what I had
Yeah.
to do. Guess what?
well, like I said,
That's the
I had,
Kickstarter story, and that's why I encourage everybody to come out and do them countdown parties,
yeah.
because people forget. Oh crap!
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh crap, that one, either I need to check and make sure I have money, or if I have money, you know, I mean, because I backed it, I need to check and make sure I got money now, because I backed it 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
reminder for those people, as well as a reminder for the people like me who can't really back it till we get toward the end and we know whether or not we have any freaking money.
Exactly. Yeah,
You
I had
know?
around 78 watchers for Alpha Dogs. And in this one, I have 95. So I'm very encouraged, but obviously it's not doing the numbers that Alpha Dogs issue 2 was, but it's pretty much in line with Alpha Dogs issue 1. So, which is
Yeah, I think
understandable.
you're going to be fine. Like I said, the main thing everybody has to remember for you guys, for you creators, is to really get out there at the end of a Kickstarter campaign and tell everybody it's almost over.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I had the Misadventurers on here just the other day. Pops, you saw that one, and I said, you know what? I want that $4,000 stretch goal to get hit. It was like $35 away. I bought 1 through 4, which was $42. That put it over the stretch goal. Guess what? Guess what? It was 2 days from finishing, and I made a big purchase with my PayPal the next day, because I looked at PayPal and says, yeah, I have enough to cover this purchase. And then Kickstarter finished, and I got a notice that said, hey, you need to change your funding. So I'm like, oh crap. I went and I changed my personal bank account for that one. I was like, yeah, take the money. And when it went through, it was just above the stretch goal. So I was like, I would have ruined his stretch goal. But you know,
my God.
that stretch goal, some people lose their funding.
Yeah.
Their funding goal when they're close like that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you got to take into consideration too. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. I'll be right back.
Well, you know, we talked about how difficult it is to write a mystery because you got to reverse engineer it. It just really occurred to me now that it's even harder to write a mystery comic book series, because you have to you have to have 7 cliffhangers evenly paced to get people to need that next issue.
Exactly. Yeah. And I love cliffhangers if done right. So every issue that I've ever written, I've ended on, I believe, a pretty cool cliffhanger. If Pops, well, he's not in this show right now, but yeah, Alpha Dogs issue 1 and 2, I thought had pretty cool cliffhangers. Issue 2 ended on Alpha Dogs with, you start seeing this woman run, and it gets where she's running there, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You think I wanted to look like she was in a cubicle office, and they discover the Ina, who has been on the run from these mercenaries for many years with her dogs. And, you know, she just keeps running. You see this area get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then finally you see that this woman is on an island with all these mercenaries, with all these planes and weapons and stuff. So I love cliffhangers. If and Dimes for Detective ends on a pretty cool cliffhanger too.
Cool.
I would imagine it would have to, because
Yes.
I mean, all comics are supposed to.
Yes, they are.
Technically, all comics are supposed to end on a cliffhanger in the last panel of every odd page to make you turn that page.
Yes. Ideally, but in my opinion, you can't do that all the time because then it gets repetitive. So I do that, but not constantly, because if you do it constantly, in my opinion, it gets to where it becomes too repetitive, and so I do it, but I don't do it every page, because you do want to break it up a little bit.
You want to do it. You don't want it to be like the dun dun dun. You want to kind of do it subtly, like you did here when you got this. You got your first page as an odd page number, and you see the police looking. That's a subtle cliffhanger. It's like,
yes,
what are they looking
absolutely,
at?
Absolutely.
Kaboom! And then you got it over here. It's like another third page, odd page. You notice anything weird? What do they notice? You turn the page. Bam!
Yep.
That's comic book procedure. It's a writing formula.
Yes. And unfortunately, I see a lot of Kickstarter, mostly comic books, have a lot of that exposition where you really, especially starting out, I just think it's the death of comic book creators. They're shooting themselves in the foot. They'll start out a comic, and if you missed issue 1, well, they just repeat it all in issue 2, and that's to me a huge mistake. If they didn't see issue 2 or issue 1, then that's on them. And hopefully what you're trying to do is make an exciting enough story that they say, I want to go back and get issue 1. And
yes, I kind of learned that from that.
Yeah, I learned that kind of from Brian K. Vaughan. The Why the Last Man, he never went back and, did any kind of exposition. He got right into the story. So I made sure he was a big influence on me as a comic book writer. So I kind of learned from him about that.
Yeah, and your cliffhangers, that's an overblown term, but your hooks to turn the page, they have to be action driven.
Yes, absolutely.
Now are like, I have to turn the page to see what size coffee that person's going to order.
Or
I'm tired of restaurant scenes, cafe scenes.
Exactly. Yeah, your images should push the story along just as much, actually more than your dialogue, or just as much. But I had started out as a screenwriter, trying to break into the business. So my comics are very much in that vein of a screenplay. You only have so much time to get this story across, so you better get going on it, and don't leave any wasted panels or dialogue. Yeah,
screenplay. One of my favorite mystery stories was a movie, so the screenplay had to write for that, and it's not as they're never as impactful the second time you watch them, because you know what you're looking for now.
Yes, that's true.
And if it's really good, everyone starts copying it. But the first time I saw The Usual Suspects, Bryan Singer's,
yeah, that was great.
That reveal at the end, that was like no one was doing that.
No. And then everybody was doing it.
Yeah. And then M. Night Shyamalan, and whenever he puts out a new movie, the whole time you're watching it, you're not enjoying the plot. You're sitting here trying to figure out, where's he fooling us now? Where's the twist? Where's the thing?
Yeah. Alfred Hitchcock had it down pat. He had such a great story, and he's changed it up so much that you weren't looking for that. You were just enjoying his directing.
Yeah, the only thing I ever looked for in an Alfred Hitchcock movie was when he would walk in.
Exactly. That was great. I went through my Hitchcock phase when I was a teenager.
Oh, well, you've got. I've passed this one up here. It's $10 for the regular cover. And all the stretch goals that we get unlocked. We'll look at the stretch goals here in a bit.
Yeah, and then $12 for the variant.
And let me just get the pictures up here. This is the regular cover here.
Yeah, that's the regular cover.
This giant looming over his
over the town, about ready to take it over, metaphorically.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised your photograph here is not a black and white photograph. Not black and white, but
because it's the cover. Because it's the cover. People are, they want the big booming, eye-catching covers. So that's why I went with the cover. And I had to have I wanted the car in issue 1. You only see it in black and white. So I wanted it also to get a good, to get the look of it down, because the car will show back up again 40 years later. It's handed down to the detective and he drives. But yeah, that's the variant. So I wanted the variant cover to look like those old dime store novels, the pulp novels from the 30s and 40s, where you had the melodramatic covers. Usually it was a detective that's walking into a trap in a hotel room, or it's a woman all tied up in bondage by some.
I was going to say, she's got to be tied up, and dress has got to be ripped.
Correct. Yeah, so I wanted that feel for it, and I think they pulled it off really well. I love that glowing. I don't know how he did it. The glowing face of the evil entity being.
I mentioned this on the show recently. It's like, I don't understand how colorists end up with white on the cover that's whiter than the paper.
I know. They're amazing. They're amazing.
It's like, that's just, the paper behind it, but it just looks like it's glowing now, the way that the white was used.
I know. It just pops. It's awesome.
So for $30, you get your name in the book, which I would guess mean both versions of it, because you can't have 2 interiors. That would be unfeasible.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So on the back page, there's a thank you page. I did that with Alpha Dogs 1, 2, as well. And if you pay the $30, you get your name on the back. Plus, you get a Kickstarter exclusive sticker, and you get both covers.
Yeah, you're going to get both copies of the books, your name there, and of course, all the unlocked stretch goals. And this is what this tier here, the $45 tier, this is, and the one below it, this is what I usually call as a retailer tier.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a retailer one. Nobody's purchased them yet, but might as well put them out there. You never know. It's kind of, you get a discount. You can mix and match which covers you want.
Okay, good. I was going to ask because I didn't see a variation in the description.
There is. So on the variation for the 5 one, you could pick up to 2 of the variant covers, and for the 10, I believe you can pick up to 4 or 5 of the variant covers if you back the $10 tier.
So you can get a 6-4 mix or a 5-3-2 mix here.
Correct.
Very cool.
And then what I'm surprised that nobody has bought yet is original art page, which it is issue 1. So I think maybe as issue 2, 3, and 4 come along and the comic gets more of an audience, that maybe people will be more interested in buying some of the original art from the comic book. So,
and this is one of the things that you can only do.
The first book, people are going to wait to see that it buns.
Exactly. Yep. You're absolutely right, Pops.
Why buy a page if the book doesn't get printed?
Yeah, if it dies on the vine, Yeah. So, but I'm gonna buy all of them off of him and keep them and sell them probably at cons. So
yeah,
that's what you do.
And that's something you can't do if your artist is working digitally.
Speaking of cons, where are you going to be here in the future, John?
I am going to be at Holland October 8th for the Geeky Experience. It's one of the last Comic Cons I was able to get into. I missed out on a lot of them this year because they were filling up so darn fast. But yeah, October 8th, I'll be at the Geeky Experience in Holland selling my comics. So check it out. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's worth it. It's the first one. So I'm sorry.
It's all the way across Europe. It's a heck of a drive.
Yeah, Holland, Michigan. But yeah, so I mean the tables are cheap. It's their first one. He's expecting about 1,000 to 1,500. So hopefully,
where's Holland at? I ain't never been there.
It's about an hour away from you, Pops. I believe an hour and 20 minutes, maybe. I think it's only an hour though. It's a very touristy place. It was more of a touristy place back in the 80s and 90s. Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but I got a table pretty early because they were only like $100 for the table, 125, something like that. So yeah, you can't beat the price.
You're gonna make money. You got a bunch of books to set up over there with, right?
Well, I have two, not a bunch yet. So
No, I mean you got a stack of each of them, though, right?
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
actually
10
was
bucks a
pretty
piece,
close.
15 if you buy them both. Do it all day. No, you know what I mean? It's like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So that's about the last Comic Con of the year that I'm gonna be able to get into. So there's winding down. But in the spring, I'm definitely gonna hit it hard. I'll have hopefully at least 4 comics by that time to sell. So
yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
by then we'll have a traveling madness roadshow. You never know.
there you go.
You never
Yeah, that'd
know.
be cool. No,
could
yeah, you
happen.
never know.
My sci-fi con snuck up on me. I was like, it's at the end of this month. I'll be at the Arch. It's spelled Archon, but it's pronounced Archon because it's in St. Louis. So the Arch is a big thing. And,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I lived in Kirksville, Missouri. Have you ever heard of that?
yeah,
It's a little ways from the Arch, but yeah, I lived there for about 4 years. There's a reason they call it Missouri.
yes,
There's nothing
there
to
is.
do with Missouri.
Well, this
Got him.
convention is actually on the Illinois side in Collinsville.
Got them. Okay.
Stupid fly. Come mess with
So
me.
yeah, it's gonna be at Collinsville. It's gonna be the last. Pop my calendar up here. It's going to be September 30th, October 1st, and 2nd.
Okay.
I don't think I have a table there, but I'm an invited professional. I'll be on a bunch of convention. I will have some signing period, so I guess I'll have a table for the hour.
Nice.
It's part of one of the things I want to talk to you about, RJ.
Okay, well we'll work on that. Hopefully, there's a table left if I decide to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily mean that specific show, but just
Stuff.
stuff.
Speaking of the tiers and how they build on each other, we skip the art pages. They don't build. So, but for $200, you still get both covers, your name in there, the exclusive sticker, a T-shirt, and a one-on-one Zoom with professional comics writer John Dexter.
Yeah, I'll be sending you the bill since we're doing an interview. So
yeah, exactly. I got this.
Yeah, no,
I got this
I
tier
need to
right
know.
here.
Man, I sure am glad I'm a local friend of his, and I can go talk to him whenever I want.
Exactly. Yeah.
We haven't got the invoice for the month yet.
Yeah. I have a few friends with deep pockets, so I threw a big tier out there, and they were kind enough to back it.
I've actually got to meet John at a couple cons. John.
Yeah. Yep. We'll definitely have to meet up again. So.
Oh yeah, it'll be different next time. You'll be coming hanging out at the Madness Comic Network party table.
There you go. Yeah. Definitely.
The party table. Everybody's gonna know that's where the party is.
Yep. So yeah, I got some cool stretch goals too. Higher quality page. If it gets to 2,500.
Which is basically funded level, right? I mean, I think it's $2,500 funding.
Yeah.
3,500, you get the detective sticker. So explain the detective sticker. Is that like a die cut figure of the character, or?
Yeah, it's going to be one of the entity. If we get that far, my wife, she's got a Cricut and she knows how to do that stuff. So she actually made the stickers for Alpha Dogs, for these tumblers that came out great. We got, I think I got 5 people bought those. So that really helped out the campaign and people just love them. So I'm going to do the tumblers again with the cover for issue 3 when that drops.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, if you got a Cricut, I always recommend Sticker Mule to people for die cut stickers. But yeah, if you've got a Cricut, then you're cutting them die cut yourself. Get your money's worth out of that machine. Those things are awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. They weren't cheap, so at least I get a little something out of them.
I always wanted to get one of those like programmable sewing machines that you put a pattern in for embroidery, fed the thread in, and just walked away.
Yeah. Those aren't cheap though.
No, I couldn't sew on a button if I had to, but let the computer do it.
Neither could
I. You got a bookmark in the works here.
Yeah.
An exclusive print. Most of the prints I see are sized to fit in the comic bag. Is that something you're considering?
Yes. I actually paid to have those done. And yeah, they do it the size. They're pretty cheap. They're like $100 for 100 of them. The last time I did it, so it's not
very
bad
cheap.
price point. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some people. Angels Awakening is a campaign I've got. He has sent me, and I've been fulfilling them in tubes. I have to ship in tubes because they're 24 by 36 posters of this character.
Speaking of
big
that,
babies.
Speaking of that, RJ. Speaking of that, what the heck did you ship out that I got a notice for today?
A package.
Yes, I realize it was a package. Is it?
It's a package.
Something I backed, or
no?
Okay, I just wondering. Because I was wondering if I needed to set up an unboxing with somebody else. I guess I'm setting it up with you. Okay.
It's your birthday, so it's a package.
It's
your birthday.
Did you get it from one of the shops in our town that close to where me and Pops live?
No, he lives down there, way down.
I live down in Arkansas.
Yeah. We have some shops around here that have a lot of business now recently with our marijuana laws being as they are.
The laws changed
to our place.
I'll
it's a new
tell you
gold
this.
rush.
I paid money at my local biker store for this. So I sit around and while they're sewing on leathers and popping rivets out of bags and restitching stuff. Like I got this. You've seen my jacket, my denim jacket, my denim jacket here.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
and I'm like, I was there one time when this guy comes in with a jacket and his sleeve is like ripped and they're gonna patch the denim on the old jacket. I'm like, I was like, wow, I can't imagine just not buying a new jacket. And the guy, he kind of looks at me and says, like, what would you do if you got a hole in the elbow of your jacket right now? I'm like, oh fuck, you'd patch it. I got $300 worth of patches on this thing right now. couldn't possibly have you rip them all off and put them on a new jacket. He's like, that's why they patch them.
Yeah, actually, you just have a patch made, a comic patch made as an elbow patch, and you're all good. See,
that's I'm starting to run out of room, but I have
a vest I haven't started on yet, RJ. I got a black denim vest that I haven't started on yet.
Well, the bottom here I've left empty because I laid it out on my bed and took a picture of it and I took it into them. I was like, how much to get these done the way I've got them laid out? And the lady there, she looked at the picture and she knows I'm a long time repeat customer. She says $150, 25 a piece. So I'm going to have the entire Justice League pretty much lined up along the bottom of my jacket here. These standing patches, standing figure patches. So I'm going to look like a walking comic book store.
What? Hold up.
That's cool.
See, now I don't know, RJ. I don't know.
Right now, these are older DC characters. Okay,
I know. I'm just saying, it's like you seen the DC shirt, the one that I wear, right?
No, I haven't seen your DC
hold on, let me show it to you. You'll love this.
I've got to see that. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm looking at that car, and I'm like, is it? It's a real car, right? I mean, this is not something you made up. This is based on a model of like a. Oh,
yeah.
Why are they hiding in the shadows, RJ?
Because they're ashamed. They're ashamed. I've seen that shirt.
That's the only DC shirt I wear.
This is a Dodge Charger or
no, this is a 1973 Plymouth Barracuda. They were the big popular muscle cars with the Hemi motors. My dad actually owned them, and he refurbishes those old muscle cars. So his favorite car was the 1972 or 3 Barracuda, and so I had with that burnt orange color. So I wanted to have that. It's a very popular style and year of Barracuda. And so that's why I went with it, because my family are big into the Plymouth Barracuda, the old muscle cars. So
exactly. So if it were me, I can say this easily because I don't run campaigns. I've run one and I don't want to run another one for a long time. But this is what I do. This is what I do to people on my show, John. I give them options. Says, hey, how can I do this? I would get on eBay ahead of time, or Walmart.com or wherever, and I would look for this.
Oh, actually, one of the add-ons is, if you look back on the Kickstarter, it's a custom toy Plymouth Barracuda Hot Wheel.
Where am I going to see that at?
You got to keep on going the other way. Yep, there it is, right there. You just passed it.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, it was going to be.
Okay.
So they don't make them anymore. It's a new add-on that I made last week. So I had to order them. They don't make them anymore. So yeah, you can get a custom, and hopefully as more Kickstarters go on, I'll have other custom Barracudas on there with the covers for the Kickstarter. My wife made that as well on her Cricut.
So you made a sticker of the upper part of this, and you just kind of stuck it across the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. You're thinking along the same wavelengths that I do.
Exactly. Yeah.
God help you.
Yeah, and then as another new add-on, somebody had asked me, about issue 1 and 2 of Alpha Dog, so I made that an add-on as well, and I've sold a couple of those so far. So
yes, always add your previous books if you have any in stock to your campaign.
Exactly.
To every campaign.
I only didn't because Alpha Dogs 3 was coming out next month, and I was obviously going to offer 1 and 2 catch-up tiers.
Again,
and then so when Alpha Dogs,
and you're going to offer this on the Alpha Dogs campaign.
Exactly.
Just, that's
another reason. Yeah, that's another reason why this went first, because I figured, if I offer this with Alpha Dogs 3, I might not get funded for this. So being Alpha Dogs is more well-known, more popular, that's why I went with this next. And then I'll offer Dime Store Detective as an add-on for Alpha Dogs 3. So
now you're going to run into a shipping problem with the Hot Wheel.
Exactly. Yep. So I have a separate shipping for that add-on. It's going to be a little more because I can't put it obviously in the gem. I had to make the shipping a little more expensive.
Yeah, we're going to want those to get here in real good condition too, because
exactly.
I also have a Hot Wheel collection. So it's like, again, you got to have. Us collectors want it in the best condition possible. Always.
Absolutely. Yep. There's still
right size box, and you can't send it media.
No.
For your Gemini mailers, 5% discount, right? Raging 2, you're 5%.
Raging 2, you can also, I think, hit Blast 25, but I lost track of that, and I was like, you know what? I don't care.
What's Blast 25? You got a discount code for Gemini?
I had a discount code. I know I've got one. I've just never used it, and then I don't know what I would get out of it anyway. But
then you probably don't got one no more if you ain't been using it.
What was the other one?
You gotta tell people about it. That's the whole point.
Raging 2 for
Raging 2. I gotta remember that. I was looking for coupons the other day. So
yeah, I've got one, and when I ordered these Gemini mailers that are right here behind me, I put in theirs. I put in their code.
John, if you want to just bring me a book, I'll give you a stack of Gemini.
Yeah, I've got. They went up so much from Alpha Dogs 1 to Alpha Dogs 2. The price, went up quite a bit in just a year's time. So when Alpha Dogs 2, I bought a whole lot of them because I figured, they just would keep on going up. So I've got boxes of Gemini.
I got 50 of them sitting here.
Yeah. Oh wow!
I just got 195 of them in, but I'm thinking, that's not going to tell me what I paid for them in this email.
Yeah.
And I took your advice, Pops, and you had said you hate the tape, so I got the resealable bags. So
those are good. Or if you use painter's tape, the blue or the green, that just comes right off. It doesn't stick to your books and shit, right?
Yeah.
You can peel it. You can actually take it off the bag completely, open the bag and take your book out, and not worry about the tape catching your book as you're bringing it out.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, I went with the resealable ones this time, so a little more expensive.
That's what I keep all my books in. I love those resealable.
I've had some resealable bags, but I still tape them shut. And I'll tell you why. 5 years from now, the glue on that resealable hardens.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
it,
I mean,
uh,
you got to replace your bagging boards about
Yeah.
every 4 or 5 years anyway.
what I do is I just get a good high level of Scotch tape, the kind that's easy to peel off and put back on, peel off, put back on.
That's what I
You
mean.
don't
Most
get
of
that
this-
dollar store stuff that is just
most of it holds on to the bag to the point where you try to peel it and it rips
Yeah.
the bag and shit, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh, I
that
hate
painter's
that.
tape you talk about is good. It's expensive, but you can get a good wide Scotch
But-
tape. That,
but you don't need to use a lot.
No,
You
just
know?
enough to hold the flap down.
I mean, that's
And
the
if
other
your
thing.
if your Gemini is
giant
snug at the
pieces
top
of
and
tape,
bottom,
and like,
you don't even have to tape it shut.
Yeah.
You just fold it over.
Yeah.
Ready to read.
There you go.
Where was I going? Oh yeah. My the Geminis I just ordered. If I take the tax and everything and divide it by the 135 that I got, they're about 82 cents a piece now. They have gone up again.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
I've
that's
got to
still
adjust my ship
that's
costs.
still though not bad in comparison to what it costs to reship something that you don't ship in Gemini that gets all messed up in the mailbox.
Yes.
That's true.
Because my mail, hey, if it ain't my regular mail lady, they will bend it, try to jam it in there. It's horrible.
Yeah, I believe it.
I've seen somebody fold a Gemini.
Yeah.
and
Oh
get it in
gosh.
there.
I've caught dude trying and sat there in the window and watched him. And when he couldn't get it in the mailbox, he just set it on top of the mailbox and drove away. He wasn't a regular mail guy, right? But I was kind of giggling because it was like, if it don't fit in the box, why are you like seriously? You could see the mailbox moving. Dude was putting weight on it, trying to jam it, and then finally he
Jeez.
pulled it out, in which you could again see the mailbox moving because it was jammed in there now. And it was like, yeah, man.
Oh God.
My mailbox will fit a Gemini mailer actually, but if I get anything like it's a little bit wider, if she doesn't have like something really big to bring, she carries Walmart bags with her. And she puts it in a Walmart bag and she loops the thing over the hook on top of the mailbox and leaves it hanging in front of the mailbox.
There you go.
I'm all for that.
Some fit the skinny ones, the ones that, I don't know. Like this one's kind of skinny, right?
Yeah. Depends on how you fold it.
Then you got some that are just wide as hell, right? It's like the wide as hell ones don't go in the mailbox real well.
They got folded to fit some hardcover, and that's a different, gives it different width.
And something else I wanted to talk to RJ about.
Uh-oh.
John, there's a book that RJ's got out there.
Okay. More blood.
Okay. Do you like the Destroyer books? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You like Batman though, right?
Yeah, Batman's cool. I've actually haven't read a mainstream comic in many, many years. I kind of got disgusted with all those guys, so I don't really support them, to be honest. I do hate
this
them
is a comic,
mostly.
though.
Yeah, but I loved Batman back in the day.
This story is RJ's story in the middle of this
Oh,
book.
awesome.
About that long, right?
Mhm.
You can see he signed it.
Nice.
This story, RJ, this is where I'm at. The epilogue.
You're right at the end.
I haven't read the epilogue yet, brother. But dude, fucking good shit. The whole time I'm sitting there going, man, we got to figure out a way to get away with doing this.
The Destroyer is owned by, Remo Williams is owned by somebody else.
The whole time or something, dude. There's got to be a way to do this in a graphic novel.
And Batman's owned by somebody else. So that story there that he showed you, John, was heavily de-trademarked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it was like,
it's like he doesn't say Batman and he doesn't say Alfred, but it's Batman and Alfred, right?
Gotcha.
It's the commissioner, the city, the car, the vigilante.
Okay. Huh.
But it's
Like,
a
there's
good
all those
freaking
books?
story, RJ. That's good shit, man.
Thank you. That was an anthology for the Destroyer series. It was a call for fan fiction. The first time they've done it in decades.
Who
Remo Williams, The Adventure
is,
Begins.
Right? You know who Remo Williams is, right, John?
No, I don't.
You never saw the movie Remo Williams?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
One of the
that
most
guy
infamous
meets Batman, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's like 150 books in his in the Destroyer series starring Remo Williams, going back to the
Okay.
70s.
Yeah,
And
but
somebody
it's
got
that
me
dude meets
reading them
Batman,
recently.
and it's good shit.
Fred Ward starred in the movie, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
With
Yep.
Joel Grey as Master Chun.
Yeah, that's one of the most, and that's one of the biggest flops in movie history.
Yeah.
Actually, it's become a cult classic though.
It has definitely.
You know?
I watched a little bit of it when it was on TV, and I just thought Fred Ward didn't. I don't think he was ready to take that leap, and I think that's what hurt it probably.
You want to make that movie look a whole lot better? Go on YouTube and find the Remo Williams television pilot that never aired.
Really? Who starred in it?
I don't know who they got to play Remo. Somebody younger with curly 80s flock of seagull hair.
Nice.
And Chun.
And I ran. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of getting Joel Grey, a white English person, to play Master Chun, a North Korean, they got someone far better. Roddy McDowell.
Oh, there you go. I mean, nothing says Asian than Roddy McDowell. He's got range. He played an ape, so.
True.
He played everything.
Yep. He even had played with Anthony Perkins. If you listen to the rumors.
But I'm just. Well, I'm looking at these two covers for Alpha Dogs, and is this the same artist on both of them?
Correct. Yep.
Okay,
the colorist
so
is the same too. Yep. That's it. Buck as a puppy is a flashback in the story for issue 2.
I like that it's still the same pose. There's a parallelism going on here. He's right in the foreground. He's facing the audience, and he's being chased both times. So.
Yep. It's I love the covers. I can't draw for anything, so I actually had to make my own little collage for issue 1, and I kind of had to draw it out for issue 2. I wanted it to look like Buck the puppy is coming to you to be rescued. So
yeah, you even have that field of red. The first time it's the inoculation. The second time it's the carpet on the stairs there. So I don't know if that was on purpose or accidental, but it's nice parallel structure.
Totally accidental. I'd never noticed it until you said something, to be quite honest. I had the stairs. There's I looked for photos and stuff, and so the stairs are inspired by these wraparound stairs in Paris, France. Somewhat famous, I guess, but which no one's going to know until later on in the story that the dogs are hiding out in Paris, France. There was
now they know.
Yeah.
Now they know. So
don't tell anybody, people.
Yeah, well, there was a scene with a French guy talking, but just for the story's sake, to move the story along, I took it out, edited it out. So,
well, John, I hate to say this, but nothing moved during the
no, that's too bad. But it's all right. Maybe later on, someone will watch it later on, and
that's a lot of where it happens. And if you're looking for that link, folks, it's right below the video. It's right underneath of us there. Click it, and it'll take you to Kickstarter for this. It's not as bad as some things I've done. I've actually had somebody get a refund during a show one time.
Oh no!
Like,
that's
worst
horrible.
thing possible. But I am, I want to say thank you for bringing the story on here tonight. I'm intrigued by it. I like these Southern noir thrillers like that. So
yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And nice to see you again, Pops. Hopefully, we'll do another show before the campaign ends.
Well, I was going to say, when does the campaign end?
I believe it's Friday the 22nd, I want to say, but don't quote me on it.
It says down here,
Friday would be the 23rd.
Thursday,
23rd, okay.
September 22nd at 7 p.m. Central Time, so 8 o'clock your time on the Thursday.
Yep. That's right. Yep.
You start a show at 7 o'clock your time on Thursday, and you do an hour-long countdown.
I'm open that day if you want to do it.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to get something figured out. So,
like you come out about 6, and we just talk about it until 7, until it closes.
Yeah. Sounds
share
like
it
a
out
plan.
and remind people, just a countdown party, man. You know.
Yeah,
Need
yeah.
to
We'll do
find,
something like that.
Yeah, StreamYard needs to allow you to put like a clock counter somewhere on your video,
Mhm.
so you can have a countdown going in the corner.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I did a launch party with him for Alpha Dogs 2, and I launched the same day that Brian Sanderson launched his biggest Kickstarter ever, and no funds were showing up. I was so frazzled by
dude.
the end of it.
Oh, but people were backing.
Yeah, people were backing, just never show
but
up.
it wasn't showing up because Kickstarter was getting their ass kicked. Right?
Yeah, he broke the Kickstarter.
Dude.
Well, I remember back before I was doing Kickstarter comics, I bought one comic book off of Kickstarter before all of this really took off about 4 years ago for the Mighty Titan, not the mouse, but it was like a Shazam like character. The civilian turned into the hero and then turned back into the civilian, but the civilian was dying of cancer, and whenever he changed back, he wasn't magically healed because he was an invulnerable superhero for a while. And it's starting to affect his superhero persona as well. So
kind of
it was
interesting.
yeah, and it was the creator was working things out because the creator was going through cancer treatment, and he had Jerry Ordway do a cover, and I was like, oh, look at this, comic books made through Kickstarter that you can't get anywhere else. What a novel concept! It was like 2014, 2015.
Wow. Is he still with us, or did he pass from the cancer?
I don't know. I'll have to find out because I haven't seen his title showing up anymore. But
well, that's never a good sign.
Yeah, I hope he got better. I did get the book fulfilled, so I got that. But at that time, the thing that was kicking Kickstarter's ass was when Rob Thomas decided to fund a movie, the Veronica Mars movie, because all the fans.
I remember all that. Yep.
Yeah, and boy, that was the same old story happened, and it's like, hey, why is big corporate guy using our platform to make money instead of going to Warner Brothers? Like, can?
Yeah, it's yeah. Yep.
Well, John, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and we'll have to do it again sometime. And
absolutely,
yeah, we'll have to get together.
Pops for the countdown.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody in the chat, thank you for showing up. We don't have a show without you. We're just a podcast falling in the woods otherwise. And while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night.
Jazz hands.
Good night.